Hello everybody, good morning or good afternoon or good evening depending on what time it is for you where you are. Happy Thursday, welcome back to the stream. I'm here, Kitty Cat's here for at least a couple of minutes. I have a running theory that the reason she leaves so early is because I don't spend enough time petting her. So I'm gonna try to pet the cat. To make a, like a strong academic effort to pet the cat. You good? Hi, how's that? She might still leave. Lost Light Druid, thank you for the 16-month resub. Happy Thursday. Happy Thursday. Hazel, do you not get anxiety looking at the timer? Which timer? Egg timer? Patch timer? Life timer? Hey, kitty. Stream countdown timer? No. Nah, not so much. What are we doing today? I had an idea of starting with Nighthold because I did go down on my main yesterday, I'm pretty sure. I meant to anyways. Oh, no. Let's start with Noble Garden because I need the new toy and I'm going to keep forgetting. So let's just do that right off the top. There's no Storm's Fury today during my stream time slot. There's one that starts at 12, but I can't stay that long. I'm going places after stream, so I can't stay that long. But we can go do the Noble Garden egg candy thing. We can do I want to do an Elwyn Forest? I feel like I'm most familiar with the egg spawns in Goldshire. When she grins your little tiny spots. Yeah, let's do that. There's a, not that I need it, but yeah, there's a holiday enthusiast around here somewhere. Here, tell me about Easter. Or Noble Garden. Good. Take me to, yeah, cool. All right. There is an elemental goo spawn at 10. Okay. I'm going to give that one a maybe. I should. I'm going to be, by the time I get around to deciding that I want the elemental goo mount, I'm going to be wildly behind on it. But aside from Noble Garden and then potentially Nighthold, I do want to shuffle today. I know I've been shuffling and I'm going to keep shuffling. We're at 52%. We're past the halfway mark. I want to make it to 58% today. That's my 3 wins. That's my quota. 60 would be nice because that's like a nice round number, but I suppose 58 is also an even number. Alcravat, thank you very much for the 4-month resub. Appreciate that. And Panda Purr with a 6-month resub. Happy to catch a stream. Try to get some work done. Best of luck with it. You got this. What am I doing after stream? I am going out. Yeah, I'm going out. I'm gonna, where Stormwind? Oh yeah, this way. Will I be going to BlizzCon this year? I don't know. I'm leaning towards no, but I wouldn't want to rule it out completely. Although, if I do rule it out completely and then I do show up, are people going to be like, you're not allowed to go home? Get out of here. You said you weren't going to on your April the 13th stream, and therefore you are unwelcome here and we would all like you to leave. Baking streams, I retired. I don't do them anymore. We did them for a good amount of time. I feel like I baked everything I wanted to, and that I had no more new avenues to explore that I wanted to in this category. Here for a break. Saw the VOD yesterday about getting your Taylor Swift on. Heard her Speak Now album's releasing soon. Can't wait. Happy now. I could see a world where I one day do more food related things. I have a food-ish video that I'm putting together for the next member video for the YouTube members, but the live shows were quite a, I mean, I know they were pretty low budget, but they were quite a production. They were higher budget than this. And after a while, I just kind of came to resent doing them because it was just a lot of extra overhead and a lot of setting up things. Because it's not like I have a set. It's my own kitchen. So I was moving in lights and moving in cameras and setting up microphones and taking all the cereal boxes off the top of my fridge and everything every time. And it was just a bit of a mess. All right. So I want to look at the vendor because this is who's going to give me my stuff. And I want to make sure I'm not missing anything else. So I have like the elegant dress. I could wear that. She looks lovely. I'm missing some of the bunny ears. I have them in black and pink, and I guess I decided that was all I needed in this area. So that's what we're after. We need 200 chocolates. We're going to get the Drake's Big Basket of Eggs. I have the Hearthstone already. Magnificently painted eggs. Okay. Although, for an extra 150, I could complete my bunny ears. Shall I mog some bunny ears? No. I shan't. So, at this point, we're just looting eggs. And from what I recall... Oh, man. I feel like everyone's done. I feel like everyone's done but me. Wasn't there a macro? I swear I used to have an egg opening macro. Maybe I'll just do it out of my bag. Well, no, we're gonna have to do it 200 times. We're gonna need a macro. I think that the change that made it so that everybody can, like multiple people can loot eggs, has made it so people are generally done. Because this is not the experience that I remember being able to just do labs. I remember sitting in front of something like this and then just being the waiting rabbit, just camping. There are a couple other people here. I wouldn't say everybody's done, but this is refreshing. TSB 2468, thank you for the 15-month resub. You still eat cereal? Not this morning. My milk was spoiled. I almost ate cereal. I have some presumably stale Raisin Bran, and I was gonna eat it anyways. Oh, that one's a lie. I was gonna eat it anyways, but then I sniffed the milk, and you can't ignore the results of the milk sniff test. If it's off, you can't lie to yourself. I mean, maybe you can. I can't, because when it's not off, I can't smell it at all. Like to me, regular milk just smells like air. So if you can smell the milk, it's not usually a good sign. Way more of a fun hunt now. Did mine in Horde and Razor Hill. The new way to loot eggs is great. Anyone know what the blue post unlocked the mysteries of the Zarelek Caverns? Well, the Zarelek Caverns is the new zone structure that we're getting in 10.1. I didn't, or if I read the post, I'm assuming that's just what that's about. How's it hanging today? Oh, it's hanging all right. We got a kitty cat's still here, actually. Maybe we should re-up her on her pet quota. Maybe I supplied her early and now... Oh, pardon. Hairball? You can cough it up. You're good. I'm not here to judge. Hi. Blizz is being vague. Okay, let me take a look at this then. Get the one behind the mailbox. Use an interact hotkey. Oh, I do have an interact hotkey keybound. That is a potential option. All right, let me look at the blue posts then. Let's go to worldofwarcraft.com the old-fashioned way. Every now and then I like to try and do this without fan sites. We're gonna say community forums, and then we're gonna go to their Blizz tracker. Raid testing schedule, play with the blues. This is the problem. This is 2 days ago. Was it this week, or is this just a terrible way to find news? Was it a blue post, or was it a news post? Here, we'll go to here, and then we'll look at news. Hot fixes, slip into the time ways, world event, week in WoW. No, it's not it either. Alright, we'll check WoWed. What are you saving to buy? Got the Noble Garden Hearthstone today. It rules. Yeah, it does. That's a favorite. That's a favorite for me on any character that looks like especially adorable, with the little bunny ears on. It's like, what's coming out for this week? I can't find it. I mean, there was PTR dev notes. Is that it? No, that's just PTR dev notes. Yeah, I got nothing. Alright, how many chocolates do you get per egg? I want to say 1. Is that incorrect? Would I be lying if I said 1? 1 felt true. Draenei and Trolls need heritage armor next. I feel like Night Elves and Undead have Warfront armor. I would agree with that, but I also really want it for Night Elves and Undead. I would be so excited to level an Undead alt, which is something that I could do now. I mean, I could do it now. Not if I want to finish my solo shuffle mount before... Well, it's not a solo shuffle mount. Not if I want to finish my vicious mount before, Oh, yeah. So, can I just, like, make a macro? Forget the egg... I used to have a macro that was, like, use your basket sprint and whatever. We're going to forget that. We're just going to say, hatch. There we go. That's cute. / use, and then if I shift-click this, will it paste it in? Sure will. All right. And then I'm going to throw that on... I don't know, any button, and then I can at least Yeah, there we go. There we go. That's the stuff. Okay. Does that give me any bonus chocolates? Bonus chocolates? No, just an egg basket. Will your undead be named compost? I think Flabby might have compost on my realm, although I could probably persuade him to give it to me if I really wanted it. He either has compost or recycling. Loved your BFA Shadowlands launch streams. Are earlier expansion launch streams available? Maybe Dragonflight is? Did I save my Dragonflight launch stream to YouTube? There's a question for you. If I look at my YouTube videos and I say Dragonflight, well, it's no good. Search across your channel. Show all. Well, that's a lot of videos, isn't it? I'm unboxing the Dragonflight Collector's Edition. That's not it. I thought I did, but maybe I didn't. What about launch? What about lunch? Show. Shadowlands launch stream VOD. No, I got nothing. I must not have done it. Every now and then I get in this thing where I'm like, nobody wants this, and then I just won't do something because I'm like embarrassed to put it up. Maybe I thought that the Dragonflight launch stream didn't go very well. Did I stream? You got a physical collector's edition. They sent me one. It's sitting fully wrapped on the floor of my office. I don't quite know what to do with it. They did like a PR box. Second channel with all your streams would do well. It's just the thing that gets me about it is that if I put them on my main stream, on my main channel, yes, it would overwhelm my channel and it would make it look like I'm just a streamer and it would probably be damaging for the brand. Well, maybe. That's a hard thing to quantify. But it would get more visibility and be just, even if you're only getting like 4,000, 5,000 views on a couple hour stream VOD, because of the length of it, it's not no ad money. I remember checking this years and years ago, like 2017, and I was making somewhere between $20 and $50 in ad revenue off of like a poorly performing stream VOD. And I'm like, oh, I'll just put one of those up every week. And then I did that for a while because it was pretty low overhead. But like, I feel like doing it every day, I don't know. There was something about it that made me not do it anymore. I think I didn't want to put them on a side channel because that would be, I feel like, a lot of work and they wouldn't get the same visibility. Because if you just want to watch them, you can do that on Twitch. There's the Twitch player, it's not perfect, but it's like the functional difference between watching them on Twitch and watching them on YouTube is not that big of a deal. And the visibility would be practically the same because people don't really watch Twitch VODs and people don't really find secondary YouTube channels. Algorithm will punish for too many long videos. Maybe, but I would take that with a big grain of salt because people say all kinds of things about the algorithm, and in my personal experience of actually messing with the algorithm, well, not messing with it, but putting out videos and seeing how they perform in the algorithm, it is smarter than people give it credit for. It knows the difference between different types of videos. It can tell that some people watch this style of video that you put out, but not this one, and it will recommend them to the correct audiences. I have never encountered it punishing like a short form video because I put out a separate video that was long form that didn't do well. I think that it's smarter than that, but that's just my theory. However, I think that a lot of people, not you in particular, just like in general, a lot of people, YouTubers in general, will say all kinds of things about the algorithm, and it's it's like a really big thing that a lot of people don't fully understand. I don't fully understand it, I think, and I think that people that think they do are cute. Yeah, no, my interact key just opens the mailbox. All right, time to hatch some eggs. Left WoW after BFA. Any tips now to get into Dragonflight? What fun things are there to do? What fun things are there to do in Dragonflight? There's lots of things that I got. There's a lot of collecting. The raids were great. The dungeons were wonderful. What kind of things did you like to do in BFA? I heard the algorithm likes grilled cheese. Hear creators complaining about it. I think there's a lot of ideas that maybe were true at one time that have changed as well, because it's been around for, a long time. It's not the same as it's always been. But I'm exactly vulnerable to the exact same amount of talking out of my butt, so. Goldshire? Yeah. I can't say I know anything about the algorithm because I don't really upload videos aside from the weekly news video. And I guess I threw a couple of shorts up to see how they did. And then I didn't check to see how they did. I checked the shorts just long enough to see, oh, hey, they get reasonable views. They make no ad revenue, or next to no ad revenue, comically low ad revenue relative to other videos. All right. They're more or less just an exposure mechanism. Which is fine. I don't think I'm going to go out of my way to make them when I don't have mount drop clips, but if I have mount drop clips or anything else that, like, is kind of a minute long already, then I feel like it's reasonable to throw it up on shorts. Cross-faction guilds and gear being upgradable to Mythic on WoW, both great changes for 10.1. Thinking of it coming back to WoW. This an Easter quest? Yeah, I'm farming chocolates to spend on the vendor because I want to buy... There's a new toy for 200 chocolates. Man, I'm only up to 19. I kind of thought I would be at, like, more than that by now. Maybe I should be using the egg basket sprint. I need 200 chocolates if I want to buy the new toy that makes your dragon riding mount carry a little basket underneath it. And then if I want... Oh, is this one? No, it's just going to give me a blossoming branch. If I want to finish my collection of... bunny ears, then I'm gonna need another 150, and I don't think I'm gonna do that. Profile pic is still 2018 Void Elf Hazel era. I, at one point in my life, need to look at all of my branding and kind of get it all under control, because yeah, I have icons from various different eras, none of which resemble me anymore. But is it about me as a physical entity, or is it about me as a concept? I don't know. I know that if I keep petting the cat, she stays. That's pretty nice. Hi. Hi, sweetie. You're so cute. Did you know that? Yeah, you did. Hi. Itchy? I got you. I got you. Oh, whoa, whoa. I got you. How's that? Ears will drop right after you buy them. Oh, I forgot they could drop. Could the toy drop? I know the mounts can. Well, streams on YouTube, can't see the old streams on Twitch. Yeah, no, that's true. The Twitch streams don't go back infinitely. They only, like, you're right, they will expire after a couple of months. So if I didn't save it to YouTube, then it is capital G gone. Unless somebody ripped it, but that doesn't sound like my life. Got a toy from an egg. And you get the whatchamacallit. So the toy that I'm farming is a Drake's Big Basket of Eggs. Drake's Big Basket of Eggs. Oh, here we go. But I'm reinvigorated now that you guys have reminded me that they can drop from this stuff. I kind of want to farm in Teldrassil. But then part of me is like, it's not even a real place. It's a pretend place. Because the tree got toasted. Is the toasty tree. And you're just in a memory of it. And then I think, well, none of this is a real place. And then I think, what is a real place? And then I've just, it's too philosophical for too early in the morning. That one had to buy. Mount chocolate number 450, the mount dropped. Yeah, I've heard of that. I don't remember what I've had. I've had things drop from the eggs before. I haven't egg farmed in a number of years because I just didn't need anything. So far, it's just chocolates. They didn't, it took them a while to add anything new for it. Because I'm just doing laps around the same building. There's lots of places to farm. I remember when competition was like a really big aspect of this, people would go to like Silver Moon and they would go to, oh, it'll come to me. The Blood Mist, no, not the Blood Mistile. Azure Mistile. The place, not the Exodar, but the main city outside of the Exodar that has a name that I'm blanking on at the moment that I wanted to remember, but I'm just no good at trivia. Anyways, people would go there because you couldn't fly there, and it was just like mildly annoying to get there, so it was assumed that not very many people would go there, so you would have less competition for eggs. I don't know if the egg spawns were any better, but It used to be just that you wouldn't have to fight quite so many people for them, but this is nice. Azure Mist. Azure Watch. Azure Watch. That's the one. That's the one. Hearthstone egg 214. The mount popped out of one. Didn't even know you could get it from the egg. Oh, it's chocolate over. Oh, no, that one's just despawned out of time. I think the fact that the mailbox one doesn't despawn all that often means that I'm not the only one that's having a hard time looting it. Like using outside Ironforge for eggs. Maybe I'll do, I mean, I need 200, so maybe I'll do like 50 in each spot and move around just to not get quite so bored. See you later, kitty cat. Meow. She's gone. She's off. Here. Best way to get friends? I'm struggling. Oh, goodness. Adopt a cat or a dog. They'll be with you for a long time. Use Thunderbluff? Was Exeter ever a well-populated hub city? I do like the layout. I don't know, but I doubt it. It doesn't really have anything there aside from a couple of quests. Honey Bear! What is it? It doesn't really have a lot going on. It mostly seemed like Exeter and Silvermoon were added for, just to have a new capital city with the new races, and then, you know, got taken over for RP. You can loot in flight mode much faster, but then I wouldn't be an adorable bun bun. Let me see. I probably have to click off the bun bun if I want to be a bird. Why won't it work? Oh no, my mouse keyboard's not working. That's why. Logitech. Do you think they'll announce a new X-Pack at BlizzCon, or is it too soon? I don't think it's too soon, because BlizzCon would be November, right? Ish. Historically, traditionally speaking. And then, you know, we'll have the second major raid out, well out by then. Potentially the third. No, I don't think it's too soon. Bun has never ride shapeshift. I think I just had my mouse software that makes the buttons on it work, because that's my normal travel form keybind is mouse 1. And it's having a hard time today. I think it updated and it's gotten itself very confused. Logitech. Best way to find a guild? Is there a forum chat channel you can use? There's a couple different places where guilds will recruit. One of them is the in-game guild finder. This thing you can filter by what kind of language you want to speak, what kind of thing that you want to do. You can search, and then you can look through and chat with people there. Although that's more of like a request to join. You could whisper the leader of them that way. Server forums are also an option. There are server guild recruitment forums in the WoW forums, and you can look through the top posts and see what people are posting lately. You can also try trade chat, but I think that the first two are probably a better bet. They don't think guild announce the next expansion until we know the final boss of Dragonflight? Oh, maybe. Guild Finder was exactly what I was searching for. I was idly wondering today. Well, I guess I can just click on this. If I'm gonna do any solo shuffle today, I'm gonna have to sort out my... You're right, this is faster. But now I'm like a big flappy birdie. I can't... I don't want to look at the eggs around all my big wings. Let's see here. Oh, bunnies. Yeah, I was thinking about what if Blizzard did their own thing for BNet where people could have profiles. They could say, hey, I'm a WoW player. I like to play at these times. You know, for people that are like looking to recruit, like a guild finder, except you just browse for friends. And then I thought, maybe Blizzard doesn't need to make Facebook. Maybe that wouldn't benefit anybody. I feel like we've done social media and we've discovered where it leads, and maybe that's okay. Maybe we're fine. I might be better off being lonely than that. Why aren't you a bunny anymore? Because birdies are faster. Birdies are faster. Birdies can fly. Bunnies can't fly. And I will die on that hill. So there's the interact button. Yeah, you're not wrong. I do have one. Does it highlight them? Let me see. Let me find an egg. Let me look at this. Ugh. I might go back to the bunny thing because it was just more quaint. No, no, that one despawned. Yeah. 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 It does mean less specific clicking. It is a little tiny bit easier. This is something I could not do in Azure Watch. You're not allowed to fly there. They never turned it on. What instance are you playing in? What instance? I'm on Lightbringer is my realm. I couldn't tell you my shard though. WoW doesn't divulge that kind of information. You're just out there, and then if you see people, then you see people. Yeah, I don't like this. It's too fast. It's kind of giving me bad feelings. I'll be a cat. That's like a nice, or maybe like a, can I be a stag? Is that more reasonable? That's almost as fast as the bird. Never got the hang of the interact button feature. All my keybinds have been taken up. I stuck mine on H. You'd think I'd have more to say after that, but no, that's the end of my thought. Apparently I wasn't using H for anything. It doesn't come up all that often. The thing that I use my interact keybind for the very most is when I'm running freehold for transmog and I want to do the pig boss, to click on the pig. And I think that's going to be a thing in the next season of Mythic Plus. I'm gonna go to Ironforge for a bit. I think that's going to be a thing in the next season of Mythic Plus because we're going to have to do the whole pig thing again. We're not Ironforge, done. Keranos, there we go. But then also, you're out herbing, and then you find one, and you can't find it, but you can see the marker on your map, and you're like, this thing is stuck in the rock. You just kind of like look around the rock, spam your interact keybind, and most of the time you can get it. Have a great stream. Have a great day, Fallen Hunter. Nobody seems to look up, I find. True. Until the servers get mad, push you with another shard in the middle of killing a rare. Oh, that's a bummer. If the next X pack is Old Gods, will Purple Void Elf Hair Hazel return? You mean like playing a Void Elf, or you mean like me having Purple Void Elf hair? I think that might take more than a single X pack worth of build-up time, especially if I keep trimming it. Yeah. I don't know. I like my hair. I think it would take some. I don't really want to have long hair anymore. I might change my mind one day, but I would need to change my mind, and I don't know what would make me do that. I cleaned these yesterday. You know what my problem is that I clean my glasses constantly, but I don't clean my cleaning cloths very often, so I'm just putting old dirt on top of my new dirt. Same setup with the Tartarus gaming mouse. Guess you use the H in the keyboard, so far away. Tartarus and a gaming mouse. I don't have a Tartarus I don't have a Tartarus or Tartarus-like device anymore, so I'm playing on the keyboard itself. I switched off of my Orb Weaver a couple years ago because they were getting harder to get a hold of, and I was just kind of ready to have one less thing on my desk. Wouldn't take long to dye it. Yeah, but I've had a really nice time spending less money and effort on my hair, and my scalp has been much happier because I'm doing fewer things to it, and I'm able to just kind of care for my scalp more nicely. And one thing that's not very nice for your scalp is bleach, which is required to lighten my hair light enough that you can see any colors on it. You could put dye over top of this, but you're not going to notice it because my hair is too dark naturally. So it's an option. Wigs are an option. Being bald's an option. I like option bald. It's been working for me. Archer Moo, thank you for the 2-month resub. You left me behind. Following your videos from years ago, still helpful. I'm glad they're still working. Purple Void Elf wig. Yeah, you could do. I don't think I want to, though. I kept hearing TARDIS thought you might actually be a Time Lord. Oh man, if I'm a Time Lord, I'd say that explains a lot, but that doesn't explain a lot. And also, I would very quickly expose myself as being somebody that, you know what, is a little bit weird for my demographic about me, is I have never seen Doctor Who. I had multiple friends. Most of my friends were really into it when I was in high school. I don't know what happened. No one ever showed it to me. I just skipped it. It just, it looked neat. I guess I didn't have access to it or something. I don't know. Remember the Void Elf phase didn't last long? If you do make it a Subro donation goal, get that bag. Yeah, I suppose so. And I know streamers do things like, oh, I'll dye my hair, or, you know, well, mostly the hair dyeing thing. I was going to say pierce my nose, but I don't think many people do body modifications for subs. Maybe they do. But I would love to get to a point in my career where I'm not selling any aspect of my physical expression. It's not like it's a big problem or like a big, you know, moral ill that I'm railing against or anything. It's just something that I'd prefer to not do if I have the option to not do it. Growing my hair and beard out. So much maintenance, but I'm committed. Arrow Hokey, thank you for the 26-month resub. Alright. That's what I feel with Stranger Things, Game of Thrones. Never watched and clicked with those shows. Yeah, sometimes things just pass you by. Oh, okay. Alright. So there's Neggy. I don't think I've actually egg hunted here, at least not for a long time, so I'm not as used to where they are. And this will be kind of fun. I get to look for them again. I enjoyed that for the first 10 seconds that I was egg hunting in... The first 10 seconds that I was egg hunting in Goldshire. I enjoyed actually looking for the eggs, so maybe this will be nice. Nose piercing streamathon. I'm surprised that I don't want any more piercings, to be honest. I only have 4, you know, if we're counting each ear. My ears are each ear is pierced twice in the lobes. And I'm like pretty good with that. When I was younger, I liked the look a lot, and I still like the look. I just don't really want it for myself. I like it when people have the piercings, but I think I'm okay. Besides, I think it would mess with my current desire for comfort above all things. I remember when I first got my ears pierced, and it was like, for the first couple of years, it was like a big hassle for me. They would get infected a lot. Like I would use the peroxide, and I would have little dishes, and I would have little cotton swabs, and I would like disinfect them, and I would clean them, and I would like clean the earrings, and they would still get all like, you know, awful. There's nothing like waking up in the morning to go to school and your head's like, your pillowcase is crusted onto the side of your head because your ear is crusted onto the side of your neck because it's just like goo. It's just, it was no good for a while. It eventually sorted out, and now I don't sterilize my earrings ever. I just assume that my ear piercings are now a completely inert part of my body and just kind of throw my earrings in at will, and I've never had a problem with that. But when I was younger, it was a big mess. Not doing so hot. Oh, they're quite pastel. They're quite pale. There we go. All right, what's our candy count looking like? Could see younger Hazel going for the ear gauges. I didn't like those as much, and I don't know why. Maybe there was just like somebody that I didn't take to that had them or something like that. I don't remember the specific reason, but for whatever, I did not like. I remember specifically disliking ear gauges. I thought they like wouldn't. I thought that they were too permanent and too trendy, I think was my 14-year-old take. Skin dissolves all metals but silver, gold, and titanium. Mom disliked my tattoos but is now curious my next tattoo placement will be. No piercings for me because of that. Yeah, but then I ended up getting like a ton of tattoos, so it's all a very personal thing. Eggies? How are we doing? We have 64 chocolates. This is not going as fast as I thought it would. For some reason I thought I was gonna just like have 200 done within like 35 minutes and then I would just move on to the Masola shuffling for the day. Maybe I'll mix it up. Maybe I'll like do a round and then find some eggs and then do a round and then find some eggs and kind of unwind that way. What is that macro? It's just / use brightly colored egg. That's it. I just wanted to put it on a bar so I didn't have to click each egg individually. Yeah, I think I'm gonna... Oh, I found an egg. I think I'm gonna... Well, am I learning? Because I know I found some against the buildings. They're nice and light colored. Yeah, you're right. I don't look up. Okay, yeah, there's one over here. That one's cute. I liked painting eggs. There's once again behind the mailbox. That's wildly funny to me that there's multiples like that. Here's one by a tree. If I'm gonna solo shuffle, I'm gonna have to like slam the rest of this coffee and put my feet on the floor and sit up like a human being. I've been a bit of a mush person. I didn't have a good brain day yesterday. I didn't accomplish anything at all after stream. I was an absolute slug for like 12 hours in a row, and it was no good. I'm going to... So we check both sides of the railing. We check in all the tents, which seem like they would be very cold. They're not weatherproofed at all. They have a back, but like, they're just open. Eggs hard to see in the white snow. Evidently. Oh, there's one. It makes me kind of extra happy whenever I find one. You know, they're like kind of cute. Just popped into the snow here. Parents don't even know about my left arm sleeve. Yeah. Try to get mush one day a week, call it a PJ day. Yeah. I mean, I'm well capable of like taking just like a good cozy day off. I would say most of my days off are like that, where I'll just kind of get comfy and I'll, you know, play some games and go for a walk and take a nap and, you know, maybe bake something if I'm feeling adventurous, and it's like just a nice day off. But like mush days are like, I'm just like non-functional. Like I can't think quite right. It's not fun. You just get like caught in loops of I don't know. Hard to describe. What do the eggs get you? Chocolate. You get chocolate, and it's a currency that you can use in vendors to buy stuff. And there's a new toy this year that makes your dragon riding drake hold a little basket, and it's important to me. I've decided that I need one, so I'm trying to get 200 chocolates. We're currently up to like 70 or so. Good time to farm old raids, just play WoW. Yeah, I was non-computer compatible mush. It was no good. I need, right? Well, you can find a starting city, you can collect some eggs. Do a little Easter egg hunt. Go to Azurma style. I'm trying like all the different spots, I guess, or at least the different alliance spots. I'm gonna do Teldrassil next. I'm gonna get to, let's say we'll get to like well, I'd say 100, but 100 actually sounds like that's another 30 eggs. Although the longer I stay here, the better I get at it. So maybe I'm really shooting myself in the foot by switching spots, because like I'm learning the spawn points for this one. So also I've regressed from using my interact keybind. So maybe I should just stick with that instead of switching it up all the time. There's quite a few of them just under trees here, and it makes me think that the trees are laying the eggs, or that the squirrels are just discarding them because they already had their Noble Garden holiday. You know, the squirrel calendar is a couple of weeks ahead of everybody else's, and they're just decluttering by now. I got the Arachnoid Harvester mount after 29 attempts. That is wild lucky. Congratulations. What do you think of the new Mythic Plus affix changes? We read them yesterday on stream. They look real good. They look exciting. I think it's very funny that they're just like giving up on explosive for this season. They're just like, you know what? Never mind. No one's gonna be happy no matter what we do with this right now, so just can the whole thing and bring back the volcanoes. Nobody minded the volcanoes. I thought that was very funny. I keep expecting there to be some on the wall, and there's none on the wall, but they're like around the posts and stuff. Sit on the sofa, binge something, become a potato. When was the last time I did a good show binge? Don't get me wrong, I watch plenty of TV, but I'll usually do like one episode at a time, like twice a day, and that's usually how I get through shows. Got my beam out from BFA. Too much procrastination stuff. Congratulations. That's a very, very cute one. I wonder what the mount farming is going to be like in 10.1 in the caverns. I haven't gone and looked at it yet. I think these people are just kind of farming. I wonder if there's like multiple spawn points, or if there's just maybe they're taking a break. Don't mind a mediocre show either. Just want to relax for real. In my mid-20s, whenever I got like a bad cold, I would set up camp on my couch. I would make big pots of honey lemon ginseng tea, and then I would put my jar of honey on the coffee table with it. And I would just drink that and then snuggle in my blanket with my cat and watch K-dramas. I would just like pick a new K-drama for every illness. And I would watch the whole thing because typically they were, I want to say 16 episodes, and they were an hour each. And that would get me through a couple of days of being miserable. And then by the time that the show was over, I felt better. You know, requires you to be able to take a couple of days off and be a non-functioning member of society. But if you have the luxury of doing that, work's a treat. I wanted eggies. I haven't had any of that honey lemon ginseng tea in a long time. I've been drinking lemon tea when I've been getting sick, but that's not quite the same thing. Although I will say the last couple of years I just don't catch quite as many colds as I used to. It used to be a couple times a year, and now it's maybe once a year. And it's a true mystery to me where they come from because I'm really not going out all that much. Oh, the last one baffled me because when I got this cold, and I hadn't even been like grocery shopping or anything. Like the most outside I had been was going for like walks down the street. I suppose it's possible I caught a cold from somebody just walking by them on the street, but like I'd had things delivered for a bit. I had been like pretty, I don't know, I didn't get it. I always have it, and it's just waiting for the right time. Oh, that's 3 eggs in a row. That's pretty good. Happy with that. Oh, there's a couple more up here. Well, that's nice. These ones are just on the ground. I'm so glad that you're not in direct competition with people for these anymore. It makes this whole thing wildly more fun. Okay, so one behind these trees. And then forget that one. To heck with that. There's another one over here. Yeah, we're getting better at this now. Now we're getting it. I just had to well, also I think I just found like a nice lucky spawn of them all being up, but I had to kind of de-emphasize buildings in my mind and shift my focus to the trees because it looks like in Keranos it's a much more tree-based egg farm. I'm saying these words like they matter. Okay. Oh, there they are. There they are. Here we go. 1. Oh, 4. Oh, that's why people are camping here, is they don't have to run around. They can just get like 4 of them in a row. This is an excellent spot. There we go. That's why. But as long as I loop back to it, I can get other ones in between. Yeah, here, let's catch up. I got a cursed rabbit's foot. It must have been cursed if it's no longer attached to the rabbit. Unique requires noble garden. Pardon? Excuse me? Hang on, I need a noble garden vendor. Do they sell things? Do they sell things in exchange for cursed bunny feet? Regret not farming. You lay eggs with it. What? Oh, jeez. Why is that so gruesome? It makes you drop eggs randomly. And it's not like a limited duration thing. It's just kind of that's so weird. That's very, very strange. I am a cat. Kitty, you're our resident feline expert. Can you confirm whether or not you ever lay eggs? Hi. Hello. Imagine if kittens hatched out of eggs that you could just find places. Now, if I was a moonkin, it would make more sense. Still a little freaked out. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Jeff. That really sucks. Alright. We want... Oh, we're up to like 9... We're up to like 100. I got I got a bit unnerved when I looted the foot. I stopped looting eggs. We're up to 100 chocolates, so we're halfway there. I feel it started going much faster. Okay. We're gonna queue up, I think. I'm gonna queue up for a shuffle and see if we can kind of intersperse the two activities, because I do want to get my shuffling done today as well. Today might be the day that I get a muffin tin. They're on sale. It could happen. Today might be the day. I'm gonna make muffins all of one time. I've been thinking about doing it. I must acquire the tin because I bought buttermilk. I have a carton of buttermilk in my fridge, which in my life is exclusively used for the creation of muffins. Maybe scones. There might be like a scone recipe that uses buttermilk. Or like biscuits, I guess. Pancakes, but I care not for pancakes. I really like making pancakes. I don't like eating them. It's a very strange situation. Isn't that a song? Every Day You're Shuffling? Mm-hmm. It was from the boys with the really bright colored leggings and the big hair. Doot 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 doot. It wasn't exactly a triumphant hero for music. Oh no, my mouse still isn't working. I can't get, oh jeez, this is gonna be really bad. I forgot, I never got my mouse keybinds working and I was trying to restart. Here, let's kill G-Hub in the task manager and then see if we can relaunch it in time. Ooh, if my keybinds don't work, this is gonna be real ugly. Especially because it's not just one round, it's 6 of them. And it's like most of my keybinds too. Oh no. Why is it not working? No, that's really bad. I'm just gonna have to do my best. That's terrible. I'm gonna have to click on these. I can still target. I'm gonna have to click on most of my buttons. This is horrific. Need more chocolate chips in your pancakes? I don't like those either. Chocolate chips are acceptable in chocolate chip cookies, or like I'll melt them to put like a chocolate layer on top of like an Nanaimo bar. Uh-oh. Oh, it's this guy. I was in a solo shuffle around with this guy yesterday.
Thanks.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna. Nope. Oh, I feel awful. I completely forgot that I needed to troubleshoot this situation. I don't know why it won't launch. This is what I'm looking at basically. This is the software that I need to launch in order for my keybinds to respond to my mouse. And normally I just kind of like relaunch it and then it like loads. And ever since I think it installed a bad update. I'm gonna have to, I think, poke around for a rolled back version of it, because I got nothing. I'm just gonna tab it out. Here, we can click on this. And this'll sort my MMR out a little bit. New York cheesecake pancakes. I do enjoy cheesecake.
Polly. Hex. Hex.
Oh no. Oh no.
Combustion.
It's gonna be a miracle if we win any of these. And I do mean a miracle. Oh no, I can use those ones. It's these ones. I'm just clicking on everything now. If I want bear form. Here, I can get raided. I can get frozen. They're on me.
Hex.
No. Okay, bear. Frenzied regen.
Polly.
It's actually surprisingly like way easier if they're on me. Nope. Blobs of cheesecake in them. Strawberries on top. Whipped cream. Oh. Using G-Hub version loaded up for me. What version is this? I can't tell because it won't load. Here, let's close that. Maybe if I reinstall it from the web. Here, uninstall. Add or remove programs. Let's just completely get rid of it. The good news is that I'm not using any custom profiles on it. Uninstall, yeah. 2023 2.376231. That is the same version I have. And it's just flat not loading. I am on Windows, I want to say 11. I'm on Windows 11. Hi.
Polly.
Y'all making me hungry.
Icy veins.
Nope. I'm just gonna get popped every time. Hear me out on this one. Banana nut pancakes with blueberry syrup. That is all you. That's a wonderful thing for you. You know what my favorite breakfast is? You do an eggs Benedict with smoked salmon, and then like a side of potatoes. That is the prime breakfast. Agonizing over whether to get a waffle maker. I understand. It's one of those things that you don't... It depends on how often you want or people around you want waffles. Oh, dear. Well, the good news about these rounds is that they're fast.
Polly. Icy veins.
Oh no, those buttons don't work. They're just gonna go me every time.
Polly. Hikes. 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 Hikes.
Oh, I keep hitting the button and it's not, the keybind, like I was just mashing my bash keybind. My keybinds aren't working, that's the whole problem. Oh.
Ascendance. Hikes. Hikes.
That's fine. Do people in your realm know you're famous? I don't think I am famous. I'm sure there's a fan guild that I helped start on Lightbringer called the Squirrel Squad, and they may have heard of me, but or like seen a video or something. But I really I would say famous is taking it a bit far. Hey, we won one! Woo! Would you want to be famous? No, absolutely not. As a child, I used to want to be famous, and then as I got older, I realized what I wanted was to be, wealthy, which is different than famous. I wanted to be able to not worry about bills and to, you know, buy whatever groceries I wanted, not to have people recognize me outside. That's like my worst nightmare. I get anxiety when I'm recognized outside by like people that know me, like just from my life, you know. Maybe you get a specific character. Yeah, I used to. My characters all used to be named Hazel, and I actually changed it because I didn't want to be recognizable, because I wanted to just be able to kind of join groups and just kind of do the same thing as everybody else, you know. I didn't want to get any free stuff. I didn't want to really attract any attention. I just kind of want to play WoW the same way that I've always been playing WoW, which is as quietly as possible. Well, Oh, with no keybinds apparently. Ugh.
Avatar.
It's just, well.
Shattering throw.
Nope. Alright, is it over? No, we got one more to go. I remember all the Hazel names. Yeah. They also were absurdly difficult to remember how to spell, so whenever I would try to mail myself something to a specific or particular alt, it was just a mess. It was just awful. Want the money like a celebrity, but still go grocery shopping without getting hassled. Yeah. One of us sees you in real life, you'd prefer we keep our distance. No little hello. I think so, especially just because I'd be, I'm, like, quite paranoid about my personal information and, like, where I live and whatnot. And, oh. Oh gosh, oh dear, oh no. I'm just gonna hide back here. Oh,
Avatar.
these mages don't need me or anything, do they? Here, well,
Shattering throw. Ascendance.
does Arena have any way to prevent matches from going for hours? These solo shuffle rounds are hard capped at 5 minutes, but generally speaking, they end well before then. Alright, so I'm gonna be a bear, and I'm gonna stun them. Can I click off a cyclone? They're gonna kick me. They're not gonna kick me. They don't have it up. This is a mess. Yeah. At BlizzCon, absolutely. Yeah. Whenever I went there, that was a much because I wasn't at home. You know, it. I think going to BlizzCon and expecting to not be recognized would be really silly. Even just for anybody, really.
Yikes.
Good day or evening. Have meetings this morning. I hope your meetings go well, Katie.
Avatar.
I'm just gonna like
Ascendance.
do this because nothing bad can happen while I'm using tranquility. I hope they kill the shaman because then I would go 2 and 4, which is actually surprisingly not that bad, all things considered. If you're just joining the stream, I'm having a little bit of an issue where my mouse driver was failing and would not restart. And it's made it so that I can't use most of my keybinds, so I'm trying to click on all my abilities and still play, and it's not going very well. Moonfire. Click the moonfire. No. The bar on this side I can still use, but all of the other ones are click only. Nope. I think we're out of luck. We'll try. Oh, they're so close to getting a kill, too. They did it, too! They did it! I totally lost a ton of rating, which is fine. I actually was not the person that lost the most. That's remarkable. At least you're not reduced to keyboard turning. That's true. That's true. Alright, let me go download, what do I need to do? I guess I need to download, from scratch. Uninstalling... We'll remove it from your system. Yeah, alright, I'm gonna uninstall the whole thing. And then I'm gonna, I guess, go download it and reinstall it again and see if that works. Download for Windows. I think it was a recent update because I noticed the icon on my desktop. Maybe it's just the way that it reinstalling my reinstall, please. Thank you. Transfer. Yeah, sure. I don't keep any icons on my desktop of my computer. I keep it completely clear of icons, and then I just launch things via either the start menu with the Windows key, or like I'll search for them. Pretty entertaining match to watch. Why won't it load? Oh, external. No, it's trying to act. Oh, are we in? Are we good? Why does it want my Discord account? No, thank you. Leave my Discord alone. I certainly do. All right, loading resources. You can do it. This is the first time I've ever had this happen to me. At least you know you're decently skilled enough to be a clicker. I don't think that I am. I don't think that it went very well. Okay, keyboard assignments. Let's see. Hey, the buttons work again. Woo! All right, I'm gonna loot some eggs for a little bit. Something nice and calm and comfortable, and then we'll queue up for another solo shuffle after a little bit and see if we can redeem ourselves. That one was just for practice. We did get lots of, we got a little bit of honor for our time, and we got lots of honor yesterday. I bought a couple more transmog sets after the stream was over. I think it was after the stream was over. I went out to Area 52 and I bought a couple of the original transmog sets. So I have this one now. I have season 1 and season 2. I'm just kind of picking through, trying to fill out this whole collection, because you get so much honor in Solo Shuffle. Currently, anyways. Apparently, next season, they're gonna rein in the Solo Shuffle honor and conquest, and then trying to bump it up from other modes, which makes total sense. But I'm still bitter about it because I'm currently benefiting from the extra honor from Solo Shuffle. It was such a struggle. Not a struggle, but like every honor point counted so direly while I was trying to get my PvP item level up to participate in Solo Shuffle in the first place. But then once I actually started shuffling, you get so much, especially like if you win, you end up with like 1200 honor. So I've just been buying the packs of Marks of Honor. And then of course, sometimes they drop as well. So I currently have 1 because I spent them all down, but every 12 lets me get an armor set. And then once I get all the armor sets, I can start working on saving it for the weapon arsenals, which I think is quite a bit more expensive. You need like 80 Marks of Honor to get a weapon arsenal, but it gives you, I think, all the appearances, even if you can't use them on your particular character. I think it'll just give you all of them, so. Okay. How many of these do I want before I'm ready to go back in? I don't really want to queue into any of the same people that I was in last time because they're not gonna like me very much, because I wasn't playing particularly well. I wonder if they make the item level less demanding. Yeah, maybe. I don't really see any reason anything wrong with just letting people go in and get squished without any gear. I sometimes still feel like my gear's all right. My PvP item level is 419. I'm still 5 PvP item levels off of the standard, so to speak, because you can get 424 and then you're good. Doesn't get any higher than that. What is this icon? That is flip this. I can't. I'm on dark mode, and I think maybe it's impacting that. It's hard to say. It looks like it might have ice. It's a table flip. What did the tables ever do to people? Okay. So chocolate-wise, 100 and... Oh, I looted some stuff. What did I get? What did I get? Oh no, just chocolates. I got excited that I might have looted something. Also, fun fact, these medals of honor that you get, they give you 150 honor, must be used during Dragonflight Season 1, and you just use it and you get the honor. If you use it in war mode while in a Dragonflight zone, I've been working on, I don't know if I'm going to finish this achievement, the for the the Dragon Fight Club. It's a world PvP achievement for the malicious title. However, there's these 4 Tour of Duty achievements that require you to earn honor in war mode, and they count as earning honor in war mode. So if I'm going to get these achievements done, I'm going to do it exclusively by just using these tokens. I'm doing Thaldraszus first. If I PvP enough this expansion, I might be able to choose that. And then you just have to, well, I think you have to do the world quest like some amount of times. I don't know. But it's kind of a cool title. I'm not using any titles right now. I'm going for a more default look. I was doing better before. I think I got a bit frazzled and I think I lost my egg radar, my egg sense. Are you doing much solo shuffle rated games? I really want that mount. Yeah, and because I really want the mount too, I've been queuing over the last couple of weeks. I've made it up to 52%. So I have done 258 rounds, but that's, 6 per queue, and then sometimes you get people that leave and then that's less. I've been trying to do some every day has been my strategy. I'm trying to go for 3 wins a day, like 6% progress per day. 4 if I'm feeling ambitious, but then I kind of put it down and I go, good job today, walk away, and then try again the following day. And that way I don't grow to hate it too much is my logic. Non-PvPer, fun war mode on. To be surprisingly low hassle, the occasional skirmish for a supply drop is fun. Oh. Yeah. I might, I would consider leveling in war mode. Like, just alt leveling for the extra experience if, I know that's not what you were talking about, but on the topic of war mode. I think if I wasn't streaming. I wonder what my evoker would do in PvP. Like, if I'm just out in Devastation spec, questing in war mode. What's she gonna do if somebody attacks her? Maybe that's my trouble, is I just don't have a plan. See more herbs aura, mildly profitable. That's not too bad. Oh, there's one. There's one. Excellent. All right. All right. I'm gonna go back in. I need to shake this off. I need to redeem my... Oh, I got some spring robes. Oh, I really hope the bunny ears drop. Oh, that's what's been dropping. Like these tuxedo shirts and the robes are soulbound, but I could probably sell the shirts for, well, nothing, because I don't think anybody's going to need them. We're up to 130 chocolates. We only need to loot another 70 eggs. It's coming along. I've been enjoying Shuffle a fair amount. I think next season, though, I might kind of do both rated Shuffle. Well, I was going to say I might do both rated Shuffle and LFG 3s, but if I start enjoying 3s, I can't see any reason why I would continue to Shuffle. Maybe just for faster games, I suppose, just for practice. It certainly is faster games. All right, round 2 with keybinds this time. This might make a modicum of difference. Can't get your hopes up too much. Oh, I love the hunter pen. It's craney. That'll be a ret paladin. What kind of hunter is this? Marksmanship hunter. And then we've got Havoc, Demon Hunter, and an Arms Warrior. All right, let's do our best. Good luck. Oh, thank you. I still kind of can't believe we went 2 and 4 last time with without any buttons. It's going to be a bit embarrassing if I go 2 and 4 again with all of them, but the the rating wouldn't have tanked that much. All right, the paladin's got the blue square. The hunter's got the orange circle. And if I win another game, I can get a piece of gear. I need epic rings and neck and trinkets still. So every 525 conquest I get, I can buy something. This warrior's named Death Slam.
Avatar. Metamorphosis.
Well, so far that does help.
Stormkeeper.
I'm just gonna stay pretty isolated here. Looks like they're on there. I can push up on the healer an itty bitty bit and see if I can stress them out at all. And I'm not gonna just donate anything. I can actually cycle on the warrior because they've used it. Oh, they reflected it. Very good.
The Hun.
Yep.
Metamorphosis.
Can trade a little bit.
Ice.
Nope. I got a little bit too behind in my hots. It feels much better though. I like the staff a lot. This is called the Staff of the Verdant Circle, and I'm pretty sure it's from one of those like level 20 kind of class quests. But I like that it's a very simple, kind of shiny looking design, but it's got like these little, you know, blossoms, and every now and then it'll drop petals or something. I think it's kind of nice. Especially with like a really understated mod to go with it, so that it has room to kind of show. Okay.
Avatar.
Enters square.
Ice.
Can't hex me like this.
Stormkeeper. Avenging Wrath.
Alright, so if I want to get a CC, I need to juke the wind shear, and then I need to just cast it. There we go. Just like that. So that's the... They've got a nice fast trinket. And by that I mean there's no hesitation. Obviously it's an instant cast, but you know, when I need a trinket, you can see me think. You can see my character like rolling it over in her mind, like, well, will I need it later? I don't know. And then by then it's like way too late. Oh, I'm gonna get stunned again.
Avatar.
That's so much damage.
Ice.
Don't make that mistake. I saw that the shaman got interrupted. Oh! It's so much damage!
Ascendance.
No. Oh, that was so close. Look at how low the DPS were. War mode has only gotten me where the other faction is in the same area. Accidentally hit them with an arrow and then they kill me. Unlucky. It was a good effort. I haven't won any rounds so far, but I'm feeling better about the match as a whole. The one saving grace I think of Solo Shuffle for me this season is that I don't really need to push rating. I'm quite content to kind of stay in the 1200 bracket and just grind out my mount. And it means that if I'm losing rating, it's not that big of a stress. If anything, it just puts you into easier matches where you can then get your conquest and whatnot. Because I'm here for the Vicious Mount, and I want my epic gear, and then I want as much honor as I can get to get old transmog sets with, and I can get all of that kind of regardless.
Stormkeeper.
Oh.
Ascendance.
Oh, don't die. Try not to die. Okay. I want to do something to the shaman.
Ascendance.
It would be great. It would be convenient and nice. I guess we can just kind of do this. And then that. Yeah. Nailed it. And then the hunter's kind of on his own for a bit, so that gets turtle. The trick is to check and see when they don't have any interrupts, and then just don't be afraid to hard cast in the face. I'd love to get a wind shear out of the shaman. Oh, they won something. Good. Barkskin's right there. I used it. No healer can beat our shamans right now. Way too OP. Heals are more than all the other healers at the moment. Yeah, I find that our shamans and disc priests can be tough. Fistweavers were pretty tough, but I think there's less of them around this week because of the nerfs. But at this rating, I think anybody can win if you play well enough. It's just a question of doing the thing. Okay.
Stormkeeper. Metamorphosis.
Let's just kind of go a little early here.
The Hunt.
So I can't really tell what they're doing, except that I know that they're. I know that I can do this. I don't think they're actually on the shaman. I think I can clone them. Sometimes people like to split healers, and it makes me batty. Okay.
Thanks.
It's fine if you can kill them, but if you can't.
Metamorphosis.
If I can get 3 wins. This will be my first success of the day. I want 3 of them, which is going to take some doing.
Ascendance.
That was a bit risky. I think it worked though. Yeah. There we go. Would love to get into PvP, but people scare me. I understand. That's an anxiety that a lot of people have. They scare me too. Alright, we need 1 more. We got 2 rounds left, and if we can get 1 win, I'll get enough conquest for another piece of gear. I'll get my first little bit of progress for the day, and I will get some honor to buy some lovely transmog with. But we need to win a round. sometimes some rounds are much harder than others depending on your DPS. Oh, I love the Pandoran monk. Okay. We're heading in. I think the hunter really trucks if we just kind of leave them be, so I want to make sure that we're either, if we're not on the hunter, that I'm, it's kind of like a lot of DR there. Oh, I thought they were gonna trinket that. Well, if they're not, then I'm gonna do it. Or just the one, though. I've made the poor decision sitting on that.
Thanks.
They can't hit me now. Paladin's bubble.
Ascendance.
I do still have trinket if it comes to it. What if the shaman just doesn't have wind shear?
Avenging wrath.
What if we just play as though the shaman does not have wind shear? I almost have a stun thing again. Oh dear. Oh, it worked though. I was just losing control of all of my buttons. We got our third win. We just have to finish this round. I was just about to panic and then use my panic tranquility, but panic tranquility is not a bad idea. Don't like to talk? You don't have to talk in solo shuffle if you don't want to. You can keep your chat tabbed over to the combat log, and you can just play based on what people are doing. They often do different things than what they say they're going to do regardless, so you don't have to if you don't want to. Sometimes I just don't. I think I've said a few things so far in solo shuffle. I've complimented a couple hunter pets that were cute, and then I'll defend the honor of anybody that's getting flamed just because. Not anybody, but if I see it anyways. All right. Can't tell if that's...
Metamorphosis.
Here, let's do this. This will just be a half clone. Well, you know, sometimes half clones are worth doing.
The
hunter is a circle, and they're over there. Okay. Yeah, they really seem to want that shaman. That's fine. I just kicked my own clone! I kicked it with my space bar! I didn't mean to do that. That's quite embarrassing. Alright. Let's see here. Let's see. Whoops, a daisy do.
Metamorphosis.
I wonder if they've given up on the healer. No, they're still kind of on him. Got a mortal strike on the warrior, or the paladin. You know, the warrior that's wearing pink.
Metamorphosis.
Okay. Put those over there. If somebody's Cyclone, their health won't contribute to the spirit link, so it can be a way of helping contribute a little bit.
Avenging wrath.
Alright, we got all the hots we can put on him.
Stormkeeper. Metamorphosis.
That's pretty much the most help I can give him. Nope. We tried though. Oh, the average MMR was much lower that time. There's the healer and I were both in the same bracket, but the DPS were all a bit below that. But no rating gain because of the low MMR. However, I got my 1485 honor, 300 conquest. We can buy a couple of we can look for eggs for a little bit to calm down, and then what else can we do? Oh, what's in this? Another mark of honor and another mark of honor. Plus, I can buy another pack of 5. So maybe by the end of today, I can afford a nice new transmog set. Mouse wheel scroll targeting. So in my key bindings, I have under the targeting section for my focus arena 1, 2, 3, I use a modifier and then mouse up, down, and click. And then for targeting my party, what I've found is you can do target party 1, 2, 3 here, but I've found that when you do this, it will tab through pets as well, and that was quite frustrating. So instead, I have the same scroll up, down, and click keybound onto my bar here, and then I have a trio of macros that I can show you that really, they just say target party 1, 2, and then self. Oh, holy moly. I guess I can't open my macro panel like that. The target party 1, target party 2, and then target player is what I use, and then I have those keybound to mouse wheel up, down, and then I use click for the third one. And that's been working for me recently. Some people like to have some people like to use macros to kind of cast the same spell on different players depending on the modifier, and I've tried that too, but this is just comfy for me. Do you think having all these out-of-game means of communication help make PvP harder or worse in general? No, I don't think so. I mean, like, if people, like, if the existence of Discord makes PvP harder? I don't think so. Especially because it feels like if you really need to join voice, it kind of feels like everybody has Discord. I'm sure there are some people that just don't install it and will not and have not and will never, but I've never run into any of those people. And if it really came to it, you could use in-game chat. Something like Solo Shuffle is really more of a, I think, a place to practice playing based on your game sense and your awareness anyways. It's definitely different than being in voice and calling targets and calling swaps and whatnot, but I don't think it's harder necessarily. Seen it? They got kicked by the leader? Yeah. Yeah. I wonder if we'll ever reach a time where Discord's like more controversial and there's more people that don't want to use it, but I've never run across anybody like that. Alright, we made it up to 142 eggs. Getting there. I don't really want to leave until I have my 200. This place has been actually pretty good for me when I'm paying it. Well, sometimes you just get lucky streaks. We found like a bunch of them just strewn across the floor. Egg over here. Wish I could play Resto Druid in PvP. Feels spammy, high APM. I think the really nice thing about Resto Druid is that you can do almost all of your healing without needing to hardcast. So if getting interrupted is something that's frustrating for you, and you don't like feeling like you just can't heal because you can't cast, as a druid, you don't really need to cast. And you can do it all of it while moving, so you can be repositioning, you can be scooting along, just kind of throwing up your hots, and nobody can, like, short of hard CCing you, people can't really do anything about it, and that's nice. You also have a lot of mobility, you have a lot of CC. Being able to cyclone is an extremely fun thing to do, and I think that's the main thing that keeps me playing a druid. Is I remember the day that I first learned that I could cyclone somebody, and then I tried it, and I was just so tickled pink that I ran her all around. It was a battleground. It was the one where you're coming up from the beach, and I was just cycloning everybody. Removing my own cyclones, because you can only have one out, and I didn't know that at the time. I was just casting it on everybody because I just thought it was such fun. And if you're and if you can get the right setup with it, it can be quite satisfying to be able to, like, you know, double clone, triple clone, and bash a healer and keep them out of the game for 10 seconds while their DPS dies. Strand of the Ancients, that's the one. That's the one. It was fun. And then you've got some survivability. The flip side of having all that CC is sometimes in some seasons, and I don't know if this is one of them, but it can feel like if you're not aggressively pushing up on their healer to get those CCs, that you're not really pulling your weight, because if you're just kind of raid healing from the back, it's a safe way to play. And it's, in some cases, probably many cases, the right way to play. But you just end up playing kind of a very boring sort of mana game. And what else? I don't know. I like the class a lot. I think that's why I stick with it, even when they're not doing super well. I feel like there's always something redeeming you can do on it if you get the right moment for it. Plus, you get to turn into a kitty cat. Man, I haven't seen any of those ears drop yet. We got a couple shirts. And a teddy bear. That's true. Teddy bear, kitty cat, birdie, cacaw. Well, not a birdie, but, you know, a deer. I like deer. You know why I like deers? Because I don't have a garden yet. Oh, pardon me. Hang on a moment. Excuse me. Yeah, let's get the rest of our eggs here, and then we'll go back to Voldrak and we'll buy a new piece of gear. I think I should do my neck and rings, and then my trinkets. And once I'm done that, then I'm allowed to replace my other two pieces to fill out this set. I need belt and boots. But I currently have crafted in Furious Epic boots that upgrade to 424. So and then I have a Epic upgraded World PvP belt that's 421. So those pieces aren't really holding my item level back nearly as much as the blue pieces are. So I have to do those last, but then I'll have the set collected. It's been fun collecting transmog sets. Our one win got us up to 54. So we need two more. Two more for today. What time is it? 10:41. We can do it. We can totally do it. I believe. I have a little baby tomato plant that's growing in my little hydroponic setup in my office. And the poor thing is kind of floppy. And I was looking up different reasons for its floppiness. And I couldn't come up with anything actionable. I couldn't come up with anything that I can fix. The best solution I came up with is that perhaps I picked the wrong variety of tomatoes because I chose my own seeds to put into the pod for it. And I picked a determinate variety. I picked, I think, Tiny Tim, which I thought was a cute name. Oh man, I am striking out with eggs. Here's one. But the poor thing just doesn't seem to want to keep its leaves very stiff. Maybe it'll do better after fertilizer day, which is coming up. The lettuce is doing great. Maybe that's the problem. Maybe the lettuce is stealing all the good stuff. Big lettuce. Never got our own seeds, only the provided ones. I decided to try and DIY my own kit. And by DIY, I mean, not really DIY, like they sell a grow anything kit, and they give some advice about the seeds to use. And I picked out my own basil, lettuce, cilantro, and then a tomato. The cilantro just never germinated. That was just a total bust. It just didn't work out. I planted some in the garden as well, and those haven't become anything yet either. The lettuce is doing fantastic. The basil, it's just Genovese basil, very good. That's the same kind that they give you in the pods. And then this tomato, it like sprouted quite well, and it's got some little flowers on it, so it might do fine. It's just it doesn't look, it's not doing great. The leaves are too floppy. There's something wrong with it. Perhaps it's the pestilence. The rest of my plants are doing all right though. I was doing kind of an inventory. I was going through and pruning and repotting and watering for spring, and that's always like a really refreshing thing to do. I always tend to water my plants less when they're entering their dormancy in the cold season, and now that we're really getting quite a bit more sunlight and a bit more warmth, they're all kind of coming out of that and they're all thirsty, so it's fun to kind of do the rounds and see who needs water and who needs a new pot. wipe down all the windowsills and clean all the windows and stuff. Has the corn made an appearance? I have 3 corn seedlings that I have promise. They're not growing very quickly, but the weather's also been quite cold. It's not cold enough to kill it, but I think it is cold enough to kind of impede it to some extent. So I'm curious to see if it's just putting it down like a nice big root system in that big planter and that it's going to really take off once the weather warms up, or perhaps I've just got like maybe it's not even corn, maybe it's just weeds. We'll have to see. But yeah, the corn's coming up. The lettuce that I planted is all coming up. I planted some spinach that I think is coming up now too. I love sprouting seeds. It's extremely fun. The Wicked Faith, thank you for the 24-month resub. When space isn't a problem, what's the dream vegetable to grow? I'd love to try potatoes. Like just a big old patch of potatoes. And I think it's just because of The Martian. I think I just remember reading the book and watching the film and being like, well, Matt Damon can grow potatoes on Mars. I mean, he can't, it's a movie, but you know, if this character can do this on Mars using like his own waste and water that he is made by like hydrolyzing, something hydrazine, I don't know. It was interesting. Then me with like some dirt and some water and then some compost surely can grow potatoes on Earth. Love potatoes, grow them in a box. They're quite a cheap vegetable to buy, so it doesn't seem to really track. But I know people grow them locally. I know there's like local potato farms, so it's possible. As opposed to me trying to grow something like an avocado tree, which might be a little bit more of a hard sell with the climate. And I could do potatoes in the balcony, but they would bump the corn. I have one big planter that can fit stuff like that, and I decided to try for corn this year. We don't know for sure that Matt Damon can't. Have you asked him? You're right, I haven't. I can't say I know anything about him. I think that one day, if I ever have some space of my own to garden with, I'm going to plant everything, and then depending on how all of that goes, kind of pick out my favorite things to grow based on what I'm good at growing and good at eating. Because there's some things that I can grow very well that I just don't tend to eat very much of, and if I can't give them away, then you're kind of at a loss with that. All right, let's pop these open and see how we're doing. Involved with a local potato community is a thing I would love to be able to say about myself. Holy moly. Oh, I got another 2 of these. Thanks. 171. All right, we need another 29. 29 more eggs. We can do it. We can do it. It's only 11:15. Would that be a spud club? Plus, I'm sure there's like interesting varieties of potatoes. That's the thing that's really exciting about home gardening, is that you can grow all manner of things that aren't sold commercially in your grocery stores because maybe they don't travel well and maybe they're not that shelf stable, or maybe they're not profitable to grow on a large scale, but they still exist and they can grow and maybe they taste nice. Maybe they're delicious or like different, or you know, they look cool in your garden, or you know, they provide a habitat for like a local bee or something. They're, you know, you never know. I mean, you could know if you did the research. Sometimes I wonder if I would have been the kind of person who spent like a lot of time reading reference books at the library if I didn't live in the internet era, just to kind of learn about that sort of thing in my local area. Thought about trying Hardcore Classic. A little bit. It comes up every now and then. People request it. I don't know how much fun it would be as me as an island. I don't really know anybody else involved. I think it would be a bit of a grim journey. It would be a bit like Castaway. Saw a National Geographic article years ago on potatoes. There are indeed some really crazy potato varieties. One of my dreams is to do that kind of growing all the weird varieties, and by weird I just mean uncommon. Growing all the different varieties of garlic. I know there's many types of garlic, and I would like to delve those depths. I wanna be the weird garlic lady that has all kinds of different garlic. My rosemary plant's really big. People have rosemary bushes as hedges here. It's phenomenal. Rosemary must be my favorite herb, especially in bread. When I'm doing like a homemade pizza, I will basically just do a really basic pizza dough recipe in my bread machine, but then I will add in, I'll press a couple cloves of fresh garlic, and then I'll add some fresh rosemary. And then, you know, like other stuff. If I have oregano, I'll include that too. But just rosemary garlic bread is so good just by itself. It doesn't even really need to become pizza. Didn't know there was more than one garlic. Basil beats rosemary for me, but garlic is king. Basil's good too, but I feel like I hit my basil limit before I hit my rosemary limit. I just eat rosemary like off of the bush. I'll just chew on the little needles like they're pine trees. I read some passage in a book about somebody cleaning their teeth by chewing on sprigs of pine needles in prehistoric times. So of course I took to that for a while as a child, because why wouldn't you? But garlic. I'm out of garlic. I need to make myself a little shopping list, because if I'm going to be out today, I'd like to pick up a few things, and it's a dramatically less stressful experience if you know what you're looking for. I like turning shopping into a scavenger hunt, and I don't like it being a metaphysical discussion about my with myself about my budget and needs and what sorts of food I deserve. It's much nicer if you're just like, okay, we're going to get eggs, and we're going to get some broccoli, and then we're going to get some raisins. I have so many raisins. I double bought raisins. I didn't realize I wasn't out of them when I purchased half a kilogram of raisins, and now I have an astonishing quantity, and I need to start putting them into things, because I don't actually like snacking on them. I only like baking them into things. I almost made oatmeal raisin cookies, and then I stopped myself and thought, you're just going through a hard time. You deserve whatever you want to eat. It's, I appreciate the sentiment, and I do behave that way quite often. Groceries are still astonishingly expensive here, though. They are coming down a little bit, which I appreciate. I can now get 600 grams of cheese for $7.50 instead of $8 to $10, which I appreciate. But it's still on the island, especially in Victoria. If you're not going out to like Costco or something like that, you're still paying a good amount for food. But I can't complain. It's not like I'm min-maxing. I still let things go bad in my fridge like anybody else. I need to get garlic for sure. I need to get milk for sure. I want to buy a muffin tin so I can make those bran muffins. I hope you have raisin cookies with peanut butter. How we doing? Comfort food. 185. 15 more eggs. You know what? It didn't take a short time, but I think once I'd readjusted my expectations, this was all right. Hi, kitty. Bought myself oatmeal raisin bars. I'm trying to think of what else I would want to eat. Meal planning is tough when you've been kind of in a bit of a foggy headspace, because it's hard to envision yourself preparing anything. And you can kind of account for that when you're meal planning. You can buy things that are like very convenient or very easy to make sure that you just have something there to eat that you know you will be eating. But the trouble part of that is that sometimes those convenient foods are either not the cheapest ones, or they're not really the healthiest ones, in a way that kind of keeps you in your brain fog, because you're eating things that don't make you feel very good, and then you continue, it's kind of like a vicious cycle. But it's hard to get out of bed and like start cooking vegetables when you're not up to it. Fell out of my habit of meal prepping. Now it seems impossible. There's got to be like a middle ground. I sometimes will make things in big batches, and then I'll make things that I know I like the leftovers of, which I have to be quite particular with, because for a long time I would make big batches of things and then I just wouldn't eat the leftovers because I didn't think they were very nice. And I've come to understand that I'm really picky. It's not that I won't eat leftovers, but I'm really picky about what I will eat as leftovers. And some things just reheat better than others for me. So there's really no point in me trying to save something like noodles is a good example, like pasta noodles. I won't reheat them. I just won't. I don't like them the second time. So I try not to make those things in big batches anymore, because I know I'm not going to eat them again. But I do like this. I've been workshopping this vegetarian shepherd's pie that's quite good. And that is delightful reheated. If anything, it's better the next day. But anything with like noodles or rice is just a no-go for me. I don't like it reheated. And I've just come to accept that other people will, and I won't, and that's okay. Potatoes reheat pretty good for me. Curries sometimes, as long as I'm making like a fresh rice, I'll reheat curry and that'll work out well. Rice in a rice cooker. Only the rest of the meals either expensive or unhealthy when I'm lazy. I bought like enough rice for the apocalypse, and then I haven't made any of it yet. I bought like a 10-pound bag of basmati rice. I don't know why. It seemed like a good idea. I haven't prepared it once yet. I don't even know what it tastes like. I just saw it on sale and I thought, yeah, this will be good. I'll eat rice. Sure. Oh dear. Dear me. Hi! What's up, Buttercup? I'm gonna take a short break here. As soon as I get myself 200 chocolates. We need just 5 more. Dry rice stays good forever. As long as nothing gets into it. So, it very well may actually do me good in, you know, not an apocalypse, but if I run into a period of time where I'm unable to procure more groceries for myself for a bit. Basmati rice, delicious. Toaster oven makes reheating certain things much nicer. Hi, kitty. Hi. I love you. You're so cute and fluffy and sweet. And friendly. She's very friendly. My family will come over to visit. And I always expect her to be shy because I just have this idea of her as a shy cat. And she's not really a shy cat. Like, she might hide for a bit because of just the noise and the hubbub of people entering. But after everybody's been sitting down and chatting for a bit, she'll kind of wander out and she'll kind of like listen around at everybody and be like, who are you? And then she'll go like just hop up on the laps of my family and just be like, you're not Hazel. What is this? All right. And then she'll just, you know, she's actually quite friendly with maybe not strangers, but with people that she's met before. Do you prefer when holidays are in Canada or US? I don't think I quite understand. Do I prefer when... I'm assuming that word is holidays. I take more note of them when they're in Canada because I am in Canada at this time. I used to be in the States, and when that was true, I paid more note to them in the States. But in general, I don't do holidays very much overall. The time of the year. Oh, like December. Like, do I prefer December in both? I think it's quite the same. The weather's a little colder, a little wetter up here, but it's nice because I think I like the I like being able to see family. I like being able to do my family traditions and spend time with my family. So that's something that's nice here. It was a bit depressing sometimes in the States because I just didn't do an awful lot. So it wasn't all that different from any other time of year. I would decorate. After a couple of years of barely decorating, I put my foot down and I was like, I'm decorating. And then I decorated and then I was like, well, all right. It's a Christmas tree up over there, I suppose. Cutie. But I think that's much less to do with the country and much more to do with the people I'm surrounded with and the life I'm living here. All right. I can afford... Oh, I got an elegant dress. I can afford none of the thingies that I got. Okay. We can afford the toy. I want to check this thing out. I want to see what it's like. Is there a holiday vendor here? There must be. Excuse me. I know there's one in Ellen Forest, but surely there's one in each of the places. Who shall sell me things for eggs? Is it you? It's you. Haha. Dead giveaway. Alright. So yeah, I do need these. Well, needs a strong word. I don't have those, but I came here looking for the Drake's Big Basket eggs. So we'll learn that. And then I'm getting out of here. I'm going back to Valdrakken, and then I want to check it out. Hi. Oh. Sweet girl. I wonder if you would like a catio. I know that you don't climb a whole lot anymore because you don't see, but I bet if I one day had a nice sunny place for you to be in with some fresh air, I bet you would like that. If it had like a nice little soft bed to lay on. But you'd have to think it was your idea. That's the trick with this cat. She has to think things are her idea. She gets that from me. Favorite curry? If I'm ordering out, I'm gonna get palak paneer. Usually. I mean, they're all nice, but paneer is just really decadent, and this place near me does a really good palak paneer. But I'm not. I like the chickpea based ones too, and the tomato based ones. I don't think I've ever had a bad one. They're all good. All right. So I need to use the toy. I was thinking my Drake looks exactly the same. Drake's Big Basket of Eggs. So, equip it. So I get a 15-minute buff. I hop on my Drake. And then we fly on the Drake. Ah, there it is. Here, let's head into the sun so we get a nice look at it. That's very cute. What's up with that egg? Why is that one spooky? What, the secret egg? The Halloween egg. It's got a spooky bunny on it. Now I'm wondering what else I can get my dragon to carry. Big basket of herbs while I'm herbing would be cute. Alright, I am going to take a very short break. When I get back, I'm going to buy a new piece of gear with all that conquest we got and then see if I can get a little bit more progress for the day. Be right back. Where'd the cat go? Where'd my girl go? Isn't paneer like cheese? Oh, yes. That's very good. Didn't notice she was sitting on the chair. That slide was a surprise. No, she's I heard her meow and she's gone. RTS Planner, thank you for the 33-month resub. Okie dokie. Alrighty. I was gonna buy, I suppose, a neck piece. And then we'll do, oh, that's not where you get PvP stuff. The Victorious Visage always fakes me out. I always think that's the PvP thing. It's not. We're gonna get ourselves a lovely necklace to wear. I don't think I need any enchants for it or anything. Did I get my weekly quests? Yeah, I did. That's epic battlegrounds. We don't need that. I did my solo shuffle weekly quest already. That's good. Informal teeny read. Oh, welcome. I'm just taking it easy. Chipping away at the solo shuffle goal. We're up to 54% progress in the Vicious War Sabertooth. It's coming along, and I'm getting another piece of gear. So I need a necklace. Crimson Gladiator's necklace. Haste versatility? Yeah, okay. Versa mastery. I understand that I need haste up to like 18%. My haste is at like 9%, so I think 18 is like never gonna happen. I suppose in arena it might be different. That's crit. We certainly don't want that. Because I could also get mastery. Haste is fine. Do that. Pop that on. That brings my PvP item level up to 420. And I can also get another box of this, plus nearly another one. Actually, I could use those. That's gonna be 5 marks of honor. I could get another 5, except that I want to actually be in Theldraszus when I use these for that achievement. We'll just queue back up, go back in. Alright, only 4 item levels off a cap now. Got one of the bunny pets and an egg. Oh, congrats, Sanguinette. Oh, warlocks. Ooh, warlocks. Okay. Warlocks and warriors. This is the war game. And then of course a resto shaman. Okie dokie. I think I need to organize my drawers. I avoid them because there's like too many pens, and this is like a command strip picture hanger, and this is a cap for, oh, it's a cap for my bottle of lens cleaner. I think I just need to do a nice organize of everything and, I don't know, clear out a bunch of stuff and see if I can't make my life seem manageable. Howdy, 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 howdy. That was me trying to tip my non-existent hat. I shrunk one of my hats. I had gotten some foundation on my like seafoam green beanie, and I put it through the wash, and I put it through on cold and low temperatures, but it still shrunk a bit. It's still, you can wear it. It's not even like wildly tight, but it does make me feel as though my head has grown. I feel a bit like I've got a swollen dome with that thing on. Alright. Warrior, that's the other warrior. That's the shaman. Double avatar. Gonna get stunned a little bit. Yeah. Oh, I should have done this ages ago. Ages ago. Nope. I could not quite heal through that. Alrighty. Howdy, howdy, howdy. Plus 10 intelligence beanie. Still warmer than empty head. Although I've been doing okay today. You know what I did today that was very out of character for me? I took the first beginnings towards a cold shower. It's something I've traditionally derided as being not for me, because I love very hot showers and I loathe being cold. But I talked myself into turning it down for a bit at the end. Not like all the way to cold, because it's April and it's Canada. That would be really, really cold. But just down to like a medium cool temperature. And I'm waiting for it to change my life. I'm ready for my brand new life. Any minute now.
Time
would be great.
Avatar.
Let's just go in.
Fear.
The thing that I've come to understand is that not every shaman is going to spec into wind shear. So they might have it, but they might not.
Fear.
Nope. Not enough. Realistically gonna be good for is saving some power, I feel like. Yeah, maybe. I could use some superpowers, so I'll take what I can get. I'd say I got up early and went outside to water my plants. It would be half a lie. I slept in and then got outside to water my plants. But the raspberries are looking good. It was thirsty. Having 2 duplicate classes in a solo shuffle, no lie, kind of messing with me a little bit. It's I don't know. I couldn't explain exactly why to you, but okay. Well, I don't know what the plan is. I'm just gonna sit right over here, try not to get hexed, and try to heal.
Fear. Tyrant. Tyrant.
I can't just say the warriors are doing too much damage because one of them's on my team.
Abaddon.
I think I'm getting mildly confused about which one is on my team when I see them in the arena. That might be just a fault of my interface, or where'd the shaman go? There they are.
Fear.
One's in your team, have the marks on them. Yeah, you're not wrong. That is the truth. Great if I could look at these. Cool. Take that. No, not quite. I don't feel quite awake. I don't know if I'm gonna have my 3 wins in me today. If we were gonna get any progress out of this particular match, I would need to win the next 3 consecutively, which is possible. I'm gonna do my best. My track record's a bit against me here now. Not feeling the shuffles? I think I'm just not all here right now. But I've been doing so well at chipping away at the shuffles.
Avatar. Chaos. Ascendance. Fight. Chaos Bolt. Chaos Bolt. Shadow Fury.
Can I get rid of totems as a rested druid? Maybe not so much.
Fear. Chaos bolt. Chaos bolt. Fear. Chaos bolt. Chaos bolt. Fear. Avatar.
Well, there's a lot of shared DR going around between Warrior Fear, Warlock Fear, and then Druid Cyclone. Well, they do have Winter. Isn't it? And that means I should be able to just kind of... Although, I'm letting my friend get a bit low here for that. Sometimes it feels like that's just what has to happen. Odd
Shadow
grounding.
Fury. Fear. Ascendance.
I can push up and I can stun the shaman, which during Ascendance isn't a bad...
Chaos
Three.
bolt. Chaos bolt. Chaos bolt.
I really don't want to blow Iron Bark on the warrior, because I think I'm going to need it for the warlock. Oh hey, they won one! Woo! Good job. Good job, team. That is one thing about a healer, about playing healer in this, is that I don't, unless I very personally like quadruple CC'd and then landed a Moonfire, whenever a match gets won, I don't feel like I've won it. I feel like I was there. I feel like the DPS succeeded in killing somebody, and I was around. Yeah, I survived that. That's really all you can ask for. Alright, so now I have both of the warriors, and they have both of the warlocks.
Fear. Tyrant. Fear. Fear. Tyrant. Chaos bolt. Chaos bolt. Fear. Shadow Fury. Fear. Chaos bolt.
Half them? Nope. Hey, they killed one. We have a chance. We do have a shot. That's all you're really doing as a healer, is just buying time for your DPS to do something cool. I mean, that's not all you're doing, but at 1200 in solo shuffle it is. Our druid in a shaman lobby. I mean, that's pretty much all it is in solo shuffle that I've found recently. I think all I've queued into is our druids or our shams today. I think of the 3 rounds, it's been all our shams. I don't think it's as big of a difference as people make it out to be, at least not at this rating. And at higher ratings, certainly. Alright, can I win? Can we win? Can we make it? Seems like people favor the warlocks as kill targets, generally. Although they're both on the warriors right now, so.
Fear. Shadow Fury. Chaos bolt. Chaos bolt. Shadow Fury. Chaos bolt.
I need to remember that I have
Chaos bolt.
lock rocks as well. I always forget about those.
Fear. Fear.
Well, I'm on fear, so maybe I'm just gonna push up in the shaman and see if I can. Well, someone's gonna fear him or clone him or something. I'll see what I can do. Unless they're swapping him.
Fear.
They are kind of hitting him. I don't know, man. Last thing you want to do is save somebody's life if they're not on your team. A bit tough to say.
Chaos bolt. Chaos bolt. Fear.
Oh. Oh, we did go 3 and 3, so I just lost the first 3 and won the second 3. Rating unchanged, clearly. Rating ever unchanged. I'll take it though. That's 2% more credit. That's one of the. I'm now 2 of my 3 wins. That's funny. I thought for sure after I went 0 and 3 that was just doomed for shame. Excellent, lovely. Okay, so I'm going to buy that. You can tell I've been watching a lot of Taskmaster because I start saying things not in a British accent, but that just feel vaguely more British than normal. Calling things lovely. Lovely bit of business, that. Alright. Calm down. Alright. Oh, I got 512. Oh, I need 525 for another piece. Okay. Brilliant. Might be looking for that one. If I could just get one more, I say win. 3 and 3 would be fine. 3 and 3 is fine by me. We got all of our vault options, so next week we can. Well, will I even need anything by next week? I think I'll have the whole set. I think that the only week that I really need a piece of loot from vault was this week, and I would have loved for it to give me a weapon or any epic piece that I needed, and it didn't, so I took a socket. And now it's really kind of a moot point. But we have enough marks of honor already we've got enough marks of honor for another transmog set. So after we get our next, like our one more win, I can go pick out which one I want to buy. We're trying to fill this whole list in. Maybe I could buy the Brutal set entirely and then see if I can pick out... It wouldn't be very many to just buy like boots and belt to finish off that set. I think I had been avoiding that because I already have like most of the visual pieces of it, and then it's that set's been recolored many times and I have other versions of it. But we want to make this whole list 8 of 8, all blue. Even if it just looks like clothing you would wear to the mushroom farm. Druid, your PvP main? I would say so, yeah. Druid is for sure my PvP main. I have vastly more experience in this than anything else. Plus it's fun. Restored Druid's fun in Arena. There we go. Oh, good map, good map. Alright, we have a rogue and a paladin. And then, ooh, Holy Paladin enemy healer. This might actually give me a chance. There's also a warlock and a warrior. Do you go out in the world in war mode? Steady supply of conquests, not often fought over in my experience. I don't, and I think it's because my PvP main is a healer. I don't really have a functional DPS spec on this character. I thought about doing Nighthold today on her, and I might still do that, but I don't know, as Boomkin, I guess, because I have an int staff? I don't know, it's a bit messy. Like, if I did get in, like, even just for the sake of killing quest mobs, I do no damage under it. I'm not very versed in Boomkin or Feral. Evoker got Carnal Axe in the Time Walking chest? Oh, congrats, Islewin, that's fantastic. That's a staff you're going to treasure for a while. Alrighty.
Avatar.
Oh, that warrior's coming in hot. We're just gonna kind of run away. Not worry about it too much. Looks like the paladin is their initial target. And I'm gonna,
Shadow Fury.
I'm gonna try and avoid
Avatar.
pushing in too much, taking too many risks. I don't want to get myself wildly in trouble if I can avoid it.
Chaos bolt.
I'm just gonna try and heal as best as I can for here. But if the healer wants to like walk in range of me, then that's cool. We can work with that. There's bubble. You're just gonna have to sit your podge for a second.
Fear. Shadow 3.
Uh-oh. Ouchie, ouchie. There we go. That'll work. Thanks for the raid, Zachary's. Versatility is the PvP stat. It certainly is helpful in PvP, but I wouldn't say it's just the PvP stat anymore. There's classes that prefer it for PvE as well. It's a flat damage and healing done increase, and then a flat damage taken decrease, which makes it good for tanks, but also some DPS it just scales well for, I suppose. I don't know the details of it, but it's for both. I certainly versatility is definitely a top stat for me for PvP, though. I think mostly because of the extra tankiness you get out of it is nice. I'm gonna do that.
Avatar. Evasion.
Oh, I thought I could be snappy enough to get that off. I thought I could be snappy enough to do a lot of things in my life, apparently. I had so many plans and none of them worked out. All right, we're gonna do a little bit of this, a little bit of this. Nope, none of that. Oh dear, they might still be able to get the kill. There we go. More the other stats don't scale well with them versus just the de facto best. That makes sense. All right, we get one more. I like it whenever I'm up too, because you get one more win. And then I'm not going to say it doesn't matter if I win the last couple. I certainly still try. I don't throw or anything, but I feel a bit more relieved. I really am just dropping eggs. I feel a bit more relieved knowing that I've, as long as nobody leaves, gotten another 2% for my vicious mount. I wanted to get up to 58 today, so if I win one more, that'll be it. Rogue seemed like a great kill target last time. Don't die to the rogue. Oh, they've killed the warlock already. All right. Keep getting focused. Find it hard to do anything of use. Warlock problems. I feel for you. I hate getting focused. Whenever there's a season where it's the done thing to train resto druids, I just loathe it. Because I feel like I just drop 30 IQ points the moment anybody like looks at me in arena. It just makes me, especially if I feel like I'm squishy, which usually you are if they're training you. It makes it so much harder for me to just make rational decisions. All right.
Avenging Wrath.
Hello there. Hello. Hot up AFK and bear. Sometimes you're still dying through bear though, and then you're like, well, I can put up iron fur, but my hots are falling off. And then the eternal thing is like, you're in bear, your hots are all leaving, like they're all gone. And people are still hitting you and you're still taking damage and you're like, well, I should get out of bear and re-hot. Except that they have stuns available and they're just gonna stun me out of bear. And at that point, you're kind of out of ideas. Like there is a point that comes. And in a more coordinated match, you might hope that you have some peels by then. But it's certainly not something you can do infinitely. You get like 10 seconds.
Avenging Wrath.
Let's do this. Let's do this. Ooh, let's do this. I think there might be a couple of quick losses here.
Evasion. Avenging Wrath.
Yep, that'll do. Better for the healer to be there because then the DPS can free cast. But I think that when the healer's not the target, they can participate more in setting up CC windows. That's my theory, but my theory is biased because I'm the healer and I don't want anybody to hit me because owie. Alright, one round left. If we somehow win this one, this will be my first ever
Avenging Wrath.
6-0.
Avatar.
Oh no, I'm not using my cooldown Scarlet. There we go. Not cooldowns, keybinds. Button the work. This poor Holy Paladin's just getting bullied.
Avenging Wrath.
Yep. There we go. 6-0. Never happened to me before, but I think it's just because that that Holy Paladin. Maybe their keybinds weren't working. I've been there today. The DPS, because the DPS were all in the 1500 bracket, and because of just that occurrence, I'm up 71 rating, which I do not think I'm going to keep. Jeez. GG. I'll take it. Sometimes I think I struggle with motivation because when things go well, I don't think I did it, and when things go poorly, I think I definitely did it. I have so much conquest I can spend now. I can get, shall we do rings and then trinkets last? Oh no, let's do, let's get a new alacrity. Let's get a conquest alacrity. I don't switch out my trinkets because I'm really lazy and because I just want it to... Yeah, we'll get a bigger primary stat proc and plus some flat. No. Do I want flat in? I want flat in. Let's get a ring. Let's do rings. We'll do Crimson Aspirant's ring. Crimson Gladiator's ring. Haste Versa. Yeah, that one. And then I need to get myself a new enchant for it. And that brings my PvP item level up to 421. Much better. Congrats on the 6-0. Oh, thank you. How much percentage? You get 2%, and then maybe like a hair over 2, because every now and then I'll end up on an odd amount. Maybe 2.1, maybe 2.2. Although I'm not convinced on that. I guess there's nothing that says it has to be an even amount. So I want a something. What do they call them? Are they Writs of Versa? Enchant Ring Writ of Versa is 55. That's not it. Devotion of Versa. Devotion of Versa, 82, that's better. Get one of those. Getting starter gear for PvP. I got crafted PvP gear, and then I turned on war mode. I did my war mode weeklies. I also did a skirmish weekly. There happened to be a weekly skirmish quest up. But you get your crafted gear. Check the PvP world quest in war mode to see if there's any of the world PvP gear, and then if you do the world PvP weekly, you can upgrade a piece of it. That's how I got this 385 piece. I got it from a world quest, and then I upgraded it. I believe you can also get, I don't remember how you get the basic stuff. But yeah, World PvP Gear is another valid avenue for PvP stuff. I was going somewhere. I was going to a mailbox to get my ring enchant. That's right. Because yeah, the crafted gear will not get you quite into the bracket that you need to be to queue solo shuffle. You can also commission crafted gear. So my boots here are something that I got a leather worker to make for me with a spark. I didn't have any kind of infusion for them, but you don't need one. They'll still scale up just the same. So if you have extra sparks in the character that you don't need, you can get, there's 2 pieces of PvP epic gear that you can get crafted that way as well. I had helmet and then boots, but then I replaced the helmet with a deer helm. Alrighty, get that, and then I want to buy a transmog set, because I can get another 5 marks here. And then we've got 2 of these marks of honor that we can spend as well. Oh, those are called marks of honor too. Oh, medal of honor, pardon me, not marks of honor. Foot and mouth. Alrighty. I'm just dumping all my excess honor into transmog because transmog is forever. I want to go out just into Theldraszus a little bit, just to work on this a hair. So we're going to turn on war mode. Remember to turn on war mode just for a second. And I'm going to fly out onto the pathway. I'm currently 450 of 1,000 honor for Tour of Duty. And then we're going to go and use these. Medal of Honor. 600. 750. Ta-da! That's one way to do it. And then I can just turn war mode right back off. Okay. Let's go buy a set. Am I going back to Area 52? Season 4, 5, 6. Those are Wrath era. If I wanted to get the rest of... If I wanted to get those 2 pieces... I don't want to go all the way back to Area 52 right now. Let's go shop for Wrath sets. I've got 20, so I can buy one good set. But we got up to 58, so I'm happy with that. So tomorrow, 64 will be our new goal. That'll be nice. Chip away at a little bit at a time. I think this week, though, I will get enough conquest to hopefully replace the last 3 baby pieces, and then I can work on belt and boots so that I'm at least fully PvP geared, which helps for sure. Crystal Sun Dollar. We're gonna get all kinds of transmog. Cardfreck, thank you for the 32-month resub. Very much appreciated. Hope you're doing well. Hey, the trick is to not get spooked into buying individual things. I'm very curious about these arsenals, but they're so expensive. So what do I want to, which set do we want? If I could get Brutal, that would be good. Season 4 might be Wrath. Brutal might be not a Wrath though. No, I don't see a Brutal vendor here. Forget Brutal. What about Deadly? Deadly Glad. Are any of you people deadly? Yeah, you're deadly. You're hateful, you're savage, you're deadly. So that's, yeah, that would get me 7 uncollected appearances. We'll do that. It's gonna look like that. It's not the fanciest set, but I want them all. Plus, that's very satisfying. PvP rare. There's recolors of that set too, and that confuses. Oh, okay. So Hateful's one of them, and then Savage is another one. So you can, I see. You can get the ensembles for those separately. Alrighty. Well, that'll be my next, next 4 marks of honor, I suppose. Yeah, Brutal must be BC, so I do need to go back there then, because I need that whole set, and then I need 2 more pieces to top up this one. I want to kind of fill in this whole thing bottom to top. Because I have a good amount of the mid-range stuff. Some of them I bought, and then some of them I just earned while they were current, because I've been getting vicious mounts through Legion and BFA and Shadowlands, and now Dragonflight. Or at least I will. Squirrel Squad H. Pal told me he's going to be playing a Tauren Arshaman next year. One might say he's multi-glassing. I got a kick out of that one. You only need to be 1K rated and that rating doesn't decay. That is largely correct. I think in solo shuffle it may be possible to drop below 1K rating, but it would take some real doing to do. You get dramatic amounts of rating if you're below 1K, and I think it's quite hard to lose. You can drop below 1K. I've done it. Brutal's the last season to BC. Yeah. I think you're absolutely right. I need that one. Is that Sunwell looking? I guess I just assumed it looked Wrath-like because it reminded me of these ones. It looked a lot like that to me. I guess just the really impractical helmet. Shall we do one more for the road for good luck? I feel like I always lose one last round to solo shuffle to top up my day, so that my, I guess, MMR is not too high for next time. Why can't there be sets of armor called Lovely Raiment, Helpful Gloves of Glory, Cozy Sanctified Couplings? Oh, for PvP? Or just in general? Drop in the MMR. Not on purpose, but it does seem to tend to happen anyways. It seems to be kind of a ritual thing where I queue up one more for the road just to try to get lucky and get like a 4th bit of credit for the day, and I like inevitably lose. Now let's get rid of these. Clear out the bags a little bit. I'm quite pleased with my dragon riding toy. The new basket of drake eggs. Let's get all this. I'm getting rid of the rabbit's foot. I don't want it. It's given away my position. The saltwater potions people actually buy. That's nice. I can sell that. Oh, I should use these. Adds a socket. Can have up to 3 sockets. So I should add a socket to the... because I've got the epic neck now. So I can buy a couple more. I can buy a couple more. I think there's like an order. I'm just going to put 2 gems in it and call it good. Hard to get into 1800, even if you're amazing, your teammates may not be. I think it would be very slow, because it's hard for one player on their own to completely rewrite the course of every game. If you can do that, then you'll climb quite quickly. Everybody gets, it feels reasonably fair to me though, just because everybody gets a chance to play with everybody else in the setup, but maybe that's just my perspective as a healer. I've never tried it as a DPS. So if I wanted more of those, they're Keen and Nelthorites, and I want 2 of them. Ooh, spend. Here, it's okay, we'll make our money back. With some ire. Staying Evoker for season 2? Yeah, I was planning on it. I think I would keep the main for all of Dragonflight, and then at the end of Dragonflight, consider whether or not I want to do anything different, but... I don't switch PvE mains lightly, I don't think. Snuggly Conquest. Wasn't a huge fan of the Scentwell look. I mean, I think that my druid's pretty snuggly. Big ol' cuddly bear. Alright. Those 2 sockets are gonna just make or break this. Should I be working on my grocery list? This is what your teammates are doing in solo shuffle when you're wondering why they're distracted. I'm gonna buy milk. I'm gonna get some garlic. I need some fresh garlic. I'll put the muffin tin in a separate column because that's a different store. What do I need? I should check on my... I know I finished my bag of potatoes, but sometimes it's nice to take a break between bags of potatoes. Milk and garlic. I swear I'm out of some stuff. I'm taking the car today so I can get heavy things. I normally walk for groceries, but I'll have my vehicle. Oh, juice. I need juice. I mean, I don't need juice, but recently I've been waking up from like long naps or just, I don't know, periods of inactivity, and sometimes if your blood sugar is really low, nothing quite hits the spot like a little bit of apple juice or orange juice. Ice cream? Cheese, crusty bread, apples. I think I'm doing okay on cheese. I don't eat apples when I buy them. Crusty bread does sound good. I have bread in my freezer though. I don't eat ice cream when I have it either, but then I bemoan my lack of desserts. I'm the worst. I'm really hard to feed sometimes. I don't think of myself as a picky eater, but then sometimes I just don't want anything. Chocolate bar. Yeah. That's true. I want chocolate. I might need some new vegetable. I usually steam broccoli. Do I want to make another shepherd's pie? I don't think I'm up to it, if we're being frank. What are some easy things like, well, okay, we're going in. We're picking up our healthstone. Strawberries, vanilla ice cream. Mm. Oh, I should check on my smoothie supply. Sometimes I've been doing smoothies. Maybe might need some fresh ginger. I put ginger in my smoothies. That's quite good.
Metamorphosis. Metamorphosis. X the hunt.
Oh, I should have gone for a stun. I could have done a cheeky stun. Okay. They're trying to hex me, so I should be aware of that. I think I quite frequently forget. Oh, there we go. I quite frequently forget that I don't have germination. So I'm trying to put up 2 rejuvenations on people because I've been doing that for years, and I'm not spec'd into that. I got an old-timey milkshake maker. Oh, that's cute. Cheesecake? I went this Easter season without finding any mini eggs. Oh, I'm sorry. What would I like to eat? I wanted stale raisin bran, but then my milk was bad. I guess I could get an unstale raisin bran, but cereal's so expensive that, like, I don't want to get any more until I've eaten this batch. Even if it is a bit stale. Alright, so that's just going in ham on meta. Alright. Oh, let's just kind of commit to this a bit early. Can't do it all day long, but... I don't feel so good about this one. Uh-oh. Oh, I forgot about tree farm. Oh, it's too late for me. It's too late. Trinket add-on. See with the nameplates. That is part of Gladius. This whole interface here on the right-hand side is Gladius. Should be a link to it in my add-ons spreadsheet. I've got a Google Doc. Milk, garlic, juice, chocolate. You can't live off milk, garlic, juice, chocolate. I have loads of rice. What would I like to eat with rice? Beans is the boring answer. How could I make them nice? Oh, I have lots of tortillas at home. I should get myself some stuff to make some burritos. I have yams. I can make yam burritos. I like pinto beans. I just don't like going to the store with a list that's too long. I get kind of overwhelmed, and being in public's kind of hard enough to begin with.
Ascendance.
If I can keep it to 10 things or less, that would be nice.
Avatar. Acceptance.
This time I'm going to remember to use tree form much earlier if I'm going to do it.
X.
Not really during cooldowns, but I'd hate to die without having done it at all. Oh, baby. There we go. 2. When I'd have a long list and some things would be missing, I would self-implode for a good while. I get, I don't know, put off by like, if there's too many people in an aisle, when I'm shopping, I won't go into it and I'll be like, oh, I'll come back later. And then sometimes I will and sometimes I won't because then I'm doing it out of order and that's just too much, I guess. But like if there's more than, if there's more than like 2 people, there's like 3 or more people, it's just, it's too much. Some people, I used to be much better at it. I would just put in earphones and I would just be on a mission. I would be very surgical. The trick is, I think, sometimes to go at the right time. At least I'm going on a weekday this time. So this shaman does... Oh, I can just clone off that. Oh, they trinketed to get that wind shear. That is bold. Okay. So they don't have wind shear. They do have stun. I feel like my MMR's gone up a hair.
Fear. Ice.
Well, forget the cyclones. We're all DR'd anyway. Our dash is on cooldown.
Ascendance. Fear. Ice. Fear.
I'm gonna have to watch out for hexes because this shaman actually does them.
Fear.
The lightning lasso. There's the wind shear. There are more kicks though, is the thing. Like, this used to drive me nuts when I used to PvP with better players, is that you would spend your entire life, you know, juking a kick and then juking a kick and then you get stunned and then like you finally catch up and oh, totally with that.
Fear.
You would finally catch up and then something else would. And then you know, you get your clone after 10 years and all of a sudden people are like, why did that take you so long? There was 37 things that I had to get rid of first.
Fear.
There we go. Wish the eye was double the size. Entrance to exit, one shot with no backtracking. What do you do if there's people that are kind of set up camp in front of where it is that you're gonna? Are you somebody that's confident enough to be like, excuse me, and then like get the thing that you're after before you move on, or are you the wait for them to leave by doing laps around the area like a confused butterfly kind of person? All right, we have our 3 wins in place. We're doing good. It seems like the shaman's better than me, but it seems like it's a good matchup. Wait a good 30 seconds acting like I want something else. Oh man, that's my move. Sometimes I am capable of doing the excuse me or the pardon me. I do have my words. Oh, I love that mount. That's the horde version of the vicious one. I'd like to be quite cautious in this.
Avatar.
Like, I can see the Warlock would like to fear me. In last match, they were quite successful, so I just want to be mildly more aware of where everybody's at.
Tyrant. Ascendance. Avatar.
So I see the walk there.
Fear.
Oh, somebody stopped it. Okay.
Abundance.
I'm lining my own DPS. It's terrible. Terrible move.
Fear.
Nope. Some anxious days. I just abandon the whole mission, go home. I can glance at a person, they scurry away from the shelf that I need items from at the store. Oh. People take like 10 to 20 seconds to get what they want. Some people, depends on whether or not I've managed to wear my glasses, because sometimes if I'm not wearing them, it can be harder for me to find what I'm looking for, but I'm pretty surgical because I usually know, but you get the ingredient readers here. And I understand wanting to read the ingredients. But I feel if you can't do it quickly, and it's a small store, I mean, you're welcome to do whatever you like. I'm not here to tell you what to do. Sometimes I wish they had looked some of these things up at home if they were going to read the whole thing.
Fear. Fear.
I'm just going to get feared. It's going to be a big mess. No, it's not. I'm going to save the day. I'm going to... Oh, it's over. How is it over? Why is it over? Who died? I'll take it. Extra 1155 honor. Use my peripheral vision to see if I'm in the way of someone. That's a good way to do it. All right, we have 9 of that. I can almost buy another pack of stuff, but you gotta leave some progress for later. Oh, that's my season high rating, actually. We're up to 1380. That's as far as I've ever been. If we get real lucky, we win one more, which I'm not going to queue right now because I'm not going to jinx it. But if I did, we could break the 1400 ceiling. We're up to 60% progress. Quite happy with that. So tomorrow we can do 66%, another 3 wins worth. Massive back of the package reader. Take it to a corner to read. You want to charge up and cut in front of somebody. You don't want to wait 5 minutes where they can't make a choice. Yeah. I don't mind people getting in front of me if they just let me know that they're there and have, you know. I guess it depends on the energy. Also, I'm, you know, if I can't deal with the store, then I can just stay home and order things and then deal with whatever they bring me. I'm going to wrap up for today. I'll be back tomorrow. Hopefully I buy more than just milk, garlic, juice, and chocolate. Those don't sound good all in one sentence. Combine your milk, garlic, juice, and chocolate in a muffin and see what you get. How long have I been queuing to get to this point? 2 weeks, I would say. I think it's been 2 weeks worth of solo shovel queuing, but I'm trying my very best to queue every single day. So I'm doing a little bit every day. That's helping a lot. All in the blender. Yeah, I'm gonna wrap up. I'll be back tomorrow. Same time, same place. Appreciate you guys, and I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day.